I'm going to tell you guys a little story before we begin. How it all started with NXT. How it started where it was a bunch of stupid games. It was this and that. It's just a bunch of this into a wrestling company. And look what happened now. No, seriously, why is NXT kicking so much ass right now? I mean, my God, the main roster sucks compared to NXT. Why is NXT doing so good? I don't know. But I'm going to analyze this, but not by myself. I have a very special guest on my channel. He's been on my channel a few times. We're really good friends outside. I consider him one of my best friends. He has a new channel now. He was formerly known from the Wrestling Gurus, but now he has his own new channel called Global Smith Entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mitch Smith.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you, Preston, for having me on your show. Now, NXT. I like how you did that little intro of how NXT used to be all about games and everything. You first had the first NXT season. You had the Daniel Bryan. You had the Skip Sheffield, which is now known as the Ryback. You had Bryan Danielson, which was Daniel Bryan. You had fucking Darren Young. You had Wade Barrett that ended up winning the whole thing. You did the whole Nexus Together thing, and then it was like, it just went downhill from there. And NXT was known as a joke. You give it to a guy like Triple H, and NXT runs so well. And I'm going to tell you why it runs so well. And I'm going to tell you why NXT, their specials, and their shows are better than the WWE. And why I say it's better is because it's ran by wrestlers. It's ran not by the wrestlers like in WCW where they had Hulk gave the book to fucking Kevin Nash. I'm saying it ran by wrestlers like Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, which is done wrestling. Guys like Dusty Rhodes that had a mind for wrestling. Triple H was a wrestler and has a mind for wrestling, and he's still a wrestler, but he's not a full-time wrestler. This is ran by wrestlers. Minds by wrestlers, not storyline writers that know nothing about wrestling. This is ran by people that love wrestling and have a passion for wrestling. And you know why? That's why the fans gravitate to it. So to follow off of Preston's story, I 100% agree with that statement. But Preston, we have the first match. And I would be glad, because I already did my review, and it's going to be uploading very, very soon to Global Smith Entertainment. It's all done editing after this video. I just got to hit the upload button and everything. But tell me, what were your thoughts on Emma with Dana Brooke being accompanied to the ring by Dana Brooke to face off against Asuka? What were your thoughts, man? Preston. I think we've lost Preston in the connection, everybody. I don't hear him talking on my end at all. His goddamn connection, I tell you, man. He needs to straighten this shit out. Preston, are you there? God damn it. Yeah. Well, hello, guys. I'm Mitch, and I guess I'm going to be hosting the show of Preston's show, Godzilla Hawk. We go into Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke and Emma. We do Asuka. I'm going to go solo unless Preston can find his way back onto here. But anyway, Dana Brooke and Emma, they ended up going against, or Emma ended up going against Asuka. It was a good match, and it was really solid. Like the psychology that was going on in that ring was superb. They did an amazing job. When you see the athleticism, when you see the pure joy that they bring into this ring was just absolutely good. You had running hip attacks off the top of the apron. You had moves that were just shocking to everybody that were done. Foreshadowing of moves. You didn't just have good chain wrestling, but you had a foreshadow at the beginning of Asuka's kick that later on finished the match. Having Emma know the moves of Asuka, like stay away from the Asuka lock, stay away from this, stay away from that, so she didn't get caught. I love how they did that. I love how they ended up having a foreign object distracting the referee and everything, and then all of a sudden Asuka gets a hold of it, and the ref thinks she was actually going to hit Emma with it, and she's like, no, 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 and I thought it was going to be a disqualification right there. And then when it wasn't a disqualification, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They're not doing the classic Eddie Guerrero spot. Roll up, 1, 2, and I'm getting a call from your host, Preston Boger. What? Get onto your show, dude. I'm running it live.
I'm so sorry. I can't. The connection's out. It's not my fault. Sorry, we had Uber people try to fix it. The mom just called and shut everything off. I'm so sorry. I
Well,
can't get on.
You can't get on? Try getting on. Well, go on your phone.
So here's what we're gonna do. Is there a way you can get out?
Well, yeah, no, but I'm running live right now. So why don't you go?
Yeah, let me try.
No, go,
I can't get on.
Preston, go on your phone and get it off of your Wi-Fi, and just go off your fucking gigs. So that's what you do. And then the link that you sent me, click that link, and then you can come back on. You can do it on your phone.
I think I got my connection back now.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Jesus. Okay, so anyway, where was I? So you had the foreign object, you had everything like that. Asuka ended up foreshadowing the Asuka lock. Dana Brooke is distracting the ref. Emma's then tapping out. The ref doesn't see that. So it's like, oh my God, Emma's going to capitalize off of this. And I love how they did it because it was just, you had it, it had you like, oh, is Emma actually going to win this match? What's going to happen? And then all of a sudden, after the whole deal, the ref ended up kicking Dana Brooke out of the match. You ended up having Asuka get that kick to Emma, and it was a 1, 2, 3. That was the final of the match, and I thought that was really, really well done. It was a well done match. It was like, what else can you say about it? It was a well done match, and they had foreshadowing spots to the finish, and they really executed it well. So I'm very, very happy with that. Okay, we go on to the second match, and the crowd really made the show. The crowd really made the show, and I was very happy with that. You ended up having Enzo Amore and Big Cass, Colin Cassidy, with accompanied to the ring by Carmella. And we have the host back. We have Godzilla Hawk. He's finally back. I had to see. This is the thing. I'm always carrying this guy. I tell you, like if it's on my show or if it's on his show, it doesn't really matter. I'm always carrying him.
Okay. First of all, everybody, may just say one thing. Usually, my internet's kind of asking out my phone. Actually, it's calling Uber right now to internet connection. So she had to shut everything off. So I got disconnected because of her. I apologize. Now we are back online. Thank you, Mitch, for helping me out very quickly. But now let's continue on. Now, as I was saying about the Asuka Emma match, very impressive by both women. These women deserve a lot more credit. And yeah, so that, I mean, I think you pretty much said what you said, right, Mitch?
I said what I said. I'm done with that. I was actually getting straight into the tag team match where we ended up having Big Cass, Enzo Amore, accompanied to the ring by Carmella, facing off against, you ended up having Dash and Dawson. So you ended up having that whole thing so that the Dash and Dawson faced them. The crowd, I have to say right now, was on point. They made their points, and they made the show very entertaining. Enzo Amore, Enzo Amore. When they were singing stuff like that, when they were doing oh ho 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 big Cass, I thought the tribute to the Beatles there was just absolutely awesome. We're going to get into more songs that were sang by the fans, but the fans made the show. Preston, what were your thoughts on this match, this tag team championship match?
Yeah, I'm going to say this right now. Enzo and Cass are probably, besides Jason, Jordan, and Gable, are the most over tag team at NXT. The crowd is they these live after check out that video that I did at my Aftershock Festival experience on my channel. But yeah, it was so you could tell that these guys are entertained, but they have the wrestling ability, and you know these guys will be future tag team champions. Honestly, I was actually thinking they were going to win, but I'm kind of glad they gave it to, Dash Wilder and yeah, I'm glad they gave it to the other team. The reason why is because these guys are a new team. They just got the tag team titles, and if you want them to be more believable, you have them, start winning more matches. You build them up to maybe like during like the WrestleMania Access or something, where they're having the WrestleMania weekend when they do that next special. You can have Jason Jordan, Chad Gable versus Enzo Cass versus the tag team champions in a three-way tag team match and have the fans go completely insane and freaking be on their feet and be like, yes, we're going to get the teams we want to see in this match, and we can make a big tag team match for the titles, and it'll be awesome. And in terms of the fans, God, man, UK is awesome. Seriously, if I were a wrestler, I'd be thrilled to go into UK just to hear the fans and their chants, that they're so creative with their chants and everything. They're singing, like you said, there's all these chants going on, and I'm just going thinking, why the hell am I not in UK at all? Why the hell am I not in UK? Why don't we get more shows? Like Cena said, why don't we get a WrestleMania at UK? Do you know how much, how the fans would react to something like a WrestleMania in UK? My God, the fans would go ballistic. They just go screaming. I mean, it's just awesome. The match itself, it was actually good. It wasn't great, but it was a very good, well-paced match. These teams worked really well. I got really nothing else to say. It was just a very well-done match, and I'm kind of glad that both teams did a great job of keeping the fans entertained. And, of course, the fans, they just kept on getting better and better during the night went on. So let's move on to the next match. Next match, we got Baron Corbin defeating Apollo Crews. Another shocker for me.
When I look at this match, dude, when I look at this match, like you said, wasn't much of a shocker. It wasn't a shit match. It's just, and I'm not saying that I was expecting more from the whole scenario. But when I look at this match, it felt like just a match on NXT. It was a good match. It just wasn't the greatest. I just don't know I just didn't know what to think about it. The ending just seemed so sudden, where you thought you were going to get more. You know what I mean? You thought you were going to get more. You had the spin-out powerbomb for Shadow, where you ended up having Apollo Crews, and he had Baron Corbin in the air, and he's holding onto the rope, and it's like, okay, what's happening? And then he gets away from it, and then all of a sudden it ends in an end of days. And it's 1, 2, 3. And you almost thought it was going to be a surprise kick out or something. The win was given to Baron Corbin. Yes, and I thought that was good that they gave it to Baron Corbin. But I think they could have done it in a better way than that, if you know what I mean.
No, and I don't know what you mean. I'm not going to kayfabe it and say, or sugarcoat it, this really feels mean, because in my mind, it's okay. And who wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. It was just there. It was okay. And I get what you mean. Personally, I thought Apollo was going to win. I thought that. I thought Apollo's going to win. I didn't know. Baron Corbin surprisingly won, and that's a good thing, because Baron Corbin, he needs to start winning more matches and getting ranked up more. Because if you want this guy to be believable on the main roster, to be this aggressive, to be this badass, on the main roster, you want to keep building this guy up instead of bringing this guy down. So I think that was cool. But like Mitch said, the ending felt a little bit rushed. It was just end of days 1, 2, 3. Honestly, thought he was going to kick out for a second.
And we're losing Preston again.
This match just wasn't decent, but it wasn't horrendous. It's not a match where you can go look at it and go, God, I hate this match, or especially to be good. You can just watch and be like, okay, at least it was a match. Nothing great, but nothing shitty. It was just there. But I have to give props to Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. We're doing something and making the crowd into it. And at least Baron Corbin's actually embracing that heel character, because if you watch Breaking Ground, one of the things that Baron Corbin was you need to show more emotion. Or like the crowd, talk down. And that's what Baron Corbin's. I admire Baron Corbin for doing something really. That match personally was where he was taunting Apollo Crews. He said, "Go back where you came from. Go back to the Independence. Go back to Ring of Honor." And I was just laughing at that part. I was like, "Did you just say Ring of Honor?" Awesome. But other than that, the match was just so-so. It was okay. It was just there, but nothing special. But glad Baron Corbin won. Next match, we got Bayley and Nia Jax. Now, here's the thing. I looked at this match thinking, here's the thing. You got to look at it as a storyline-wise match.
Well, they had
by that is
Preston. They had the storyline, and I know how you say they had the storyline and everything. You ended up having that spot where she got thrown through the door, right? You made Nia Jax look like an immovable object, and that's what I said in my other video. She was an immovable object, and to have someone like Nia Jax go against Bayley, that was the first time that I've ever seen on NXT for a women's division where you didn't have a beautiful bleach blonde girl that comes out and she's all nice and then she turns into a heel, for example, like Alexa Bliss, where it's eye candy. They're good wrestlers. You have someone like Paige, too. Very athletic, very beautiful. You have someone like Charlotte, very athletic and very beautiful. You have all of these. And then you have someone that doesn't have that frame. You have Nia Jax that doesn't have the frame that the typical diva or women's wrestler should have. So she's a little bit bigger. So it's really rare when you get people like Nia Jax or even Awesome Kong. In the WWE, she was Karma. And when you see her, it gave it a different feel to the women's division. It wasn't cookie cutter. It was different. And due to the fact that she's also the cousin of The Rock, it just adds to a better thing. So she has family heritage. Her cousin's The Rock. So there's Samoan blood. And it's not even that you look at, but it's the fact that you see her going against Bayley, and now Bayley's the underdog, and Bayley's always been the underdog, but now she's up to a point where when she's wrestling this match, she's doing spinning elbows off the second rope, and it's like she's running into a brick wall. And it's like, holy crap. Like Nia Jax she can't be taken off her feet. And Preston, I want you to talk about that. I want you to talk about the fact that the announcers built up Nia Jax never being dropped to her feet until she faced off against Bayley, and she was the underdog. So tell me what you think there, Preston.
Yes, like I said, I am just going to say this right now. I am extremely happy on how they made Nia Jax look. They just made her look dominant. Let's put it that way. I was pretending to commentate on the match, and I was commenting like she's like the Brock Lesnar of the NXT Women's Division, where she just dominates. When you get in that ring, you look at her and you go, God, I'm going to get my ass kicked. God, I'm going to have a long night. And that's what happened. You get in the ring with her, and she's just tossing you around. She's countering everything. You're trying to bring her down. She's not going down, and she just counters, and just does slam, Samoa drops. She hit 4 freaking leg drops on Bailey, and Bailey still kicked out. And I'm thinking, seriously, 4 leg drops and she still kicks out? When she hit the first one, I thought, oh my God, is it going to end quickly? Then no kick out. I was like, oh, thank God. She hits 3. I was like, that's it. 3 leg drops. That's it. Bailey's done. The Nia Jax just dominated. And then no, she kicks out, and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, they're making this match unpredictable. I honestly thought maybe Nia Jax had a chance to win. And no, surprisingly, she did. Bailey kept on fighting. She kept on doing what she had to do. And the best part about it was she didn't hit the belly-to-belly suplex. She knew she couldn't do that. She tried doing the elbows and it wasn't working. She was actually realizing, if I got to take her down, I got to get into like almost like an amateur wrestling base mode where I had to be technical. And that's what she was doing. She was being very technical. She was using submission holds, sleeper holds. She was trying to ground her and trying to get her to a submission, try and make her tap out or pass out. And I like about it, and again, Nia Jax just tossing her aside, countering. Bailey's still trying to cling on, just trying to get her in that submission hold. Nia Jax would get out. She would continue to fight who's going to prevail. And at the very end, Bailey gets her in that headlock variation move, and she brings Nia Jax down, and she makes her submit. In Nia Jax's first loss, she submits to Bailey, and the crowd goes insane. Now, here's the thing. The tap out thing, in my opinion, I don't think it should have happened. Here's why. Because she's a dominant force to be reckoned with. I think it would have been smarter if you did kind of like what they did with Baron Corbin and Samoa Joe, where you didn't have Baron Corbin submit. And that way you could build off from that and say, to like have Nia Jax say, I might have lost, but I didn't tap out to Bailey. I had her beat. She just got lucky. I never submit though. And you could build off from that. Maybe have like a submission match or something in the near future and build this up even more.
Preston. I just want to put this out there. I think the submission should have happened. And why I think the submission should have happened is because in that match, they heavily built up the fact that Nia Jax's head was being worked over. You just throw it out there. She hit a dragon sleeper when she was on the back of Nia Jax. Add to that even more. She even got her in a triangle choke, working on the head of Nia Jax. She then got her in not one, but like 3 different to 4 different attempts of a guillotine choke. So she had this guillotine choke in. And like, holy crap. Like, and every time Nia Jax would get out, but every time Nia Jax would get out, she got more tired. She got more like, the camera always went up to her face. And what I liked about it was the announcers, the commentators were talking about that and building it up. Like, that wears you out. Trying to get out. Once you get out, that takes the life right out of you. So every time Bailey kept on locking it. But Bailey started getting her to the point where she got her in that seated position. They built up. That is the way you build up a submission move. They had Bailey do that so many times to the point where now that can be a second move if they really want it. They can play off of a guillotine choke with Bailey, and instead of always doing the belly to Bailey, the Bailey to belly, now you have another move where she defeated Nia Jax for the first time by submission. And that one move now looks so dominant because she didn't just take an immovable object out, but she took her out with a guillotine choke. Like, I think it was good to see something like that because Nia Jax put it all on the line, but Bailey, it made her look stronger. It made her more believable that she took the life out of Nia Jax. It was like tumbling towers. She took her down and she submitted her, so she could not get back up. That is my opinion there.
And now after hearing that, it does make sense. And like I said, with the new rules, it could happen. And that's now the fans could be like, well, if she can't win off the Bailey to Bailey, it's like, okay, she's got other moves in her arsenal. Now she's got submission, and now she can use that to her advantage. And she can now say, now the commentators, and like you said, the commentators were calling the Divas match on Raw, where they're just like, look what happened on Twitter. Did you hear what Nikki Bella said about this? It's, look at Nikki Bella's boob job. The commentators were like, Look what she's doing. She's getting into that dragon sleeper. Oh, no, not Jack's counter. Wait, Bailey's still not giving up. She's got that dragon. Oh, it's submission. She's tapping out. She's going to tap out, and she taps out. My God. Unbelievable match. You know, the commentators were being commentators, not just guys being paid to sit on their asses and be like, what happened on Facebook? What happened on Twitter? It felt like a wrestling match because the commentators were in it. I felt like I was being a commentator. I felt like I was getting to the match. And it felt good to call a match like that. It feels good. It feels like, wow, this is kind of refreshing to actually get commentators actually commentating. It was very fresh. And like you said, the tap out thing, now I understand. Yeah, it makes it more believable because, like you said, now if Bayley uses this move, she can use it to her advantage, and the fans can get over with that move. And now people would go look at that move saying, once she locks that move in, remember, that move made Nia Jax tap out, and it's going to get Bayley over even more. So that's what I like about it. So I do agree with you, Mitch, on that. So I do like that little thing that you said. So like I said, was the match amazing? No. But yes, it was very good. These two still did a very great job, and they told a very good story. It was very simple. It was basic, but it worked. That's all I have to say. Congratulations to the both of you, and yeah, congratulations to Bayley on retaining. Now let's move on to the final match, which I think we can all agree was match of the night. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe, or I like to call Samoa Joe, because apparently NXT typo for his entrance put O at his name instead of an A for some reason. I don't know why. And then you also had the Jack Ripper Balor apparently come in. So that's what I like to call it. Samoa Joe versus Jack the Ripper is the main event, and that's a good thing. Besides the little minus typo from NXT, the Jack Ripper entrance was awesome. I like that. We had like the fake blood and everything. It felt kind of corny, like a Friday the 13th movie or Nightmare on Elm Street, where you see the blood and you know it's corny, but it's a good kind of corny. It's something kind of refreshing to see from Finn Balor, where he has the hat and the jacket. And you see the Jack Ripper thing on his back. I thought that looked sick. And then, I don't know if it was just me, but I think Finn Balor's makeup, he looked more evil, if you notice that. Like, he didn't look like the typical Balor. He looked more dark. He looked more demented evil with that makeup he did. It looked kind of cool. But, again, it fit to the story because Finn Balor wants revenge on Samoa Joe and realizes he needs this demon to go all the way to beat Samoa Joe. And that's what I like about it. And, again, besides that, the match was great. It was a great match. These guys tore up. Samoa Joe's always been impressive for a guy his size. Finn Balor's never going to get boring. These two are going to be great in the main roster. If Vince McMahon or anybody screws them over, well, they can go screw themselves because these two deserve to be in a WrestleMania one day. I really got nothing to say. It was a basic wrestling storytelling rivalry match where you had counter wrestling. You had story built into it. And there was a few times we thought Samoa Joe was going to win. I thought Samoa Joe was winning this. I think this is his time because I think Finn Balor's going to go on the main roster soon. But no, Finn Balor's still champion, which is awesome. But now, where does this lead on to? Could this lead to another match in the future between these two? Could it lead to something else? We don't know. But I'm going to let Mitch talk about a little bit more about this match because this match was awesome. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. So, Mitch, go ahead and what did you think about the entrances, the match overall?
I like how they did Jack the Ripper with I like how they did that with the Jack the Ripper with Finn Balor. I did not know that they did a typo with Samoa Joe. That's actually kind of funny. I'll take a look at that. The match was good. In my video, I just basically said it was a match of, like, I'm not going to – honestly, I think the match of the night, in my opinion, was Bayley and Nia Jax. And the reason I picked that is because that's the first underdog scenario. They sold it well, and it was very believable. They didn't just sell the match to make it look good, but they also had the intensity there. They had the drama there. They sold the move, and they also built up a move. So you had all of these things where you had a defeat, you had a move built up in the process, and that's why I picked it as match of the night. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, they did a great job. I love the storytelling. I love the aggression, the inziguris that you saw, the Pele kicks that you saw, numerous ones. You saw the sling blade done. I like the reverse that they did, where Samoa Joe ended up giving his almost standing rock bottom, I would call it, the standing rock bottom, where he ends up catching him in a Naragi and ends up slamming him outside on the on the floor. I thought that was cool. Then I really thought Samoa Joe was going to be going, like, I thought Samoa Joe was going to win this. And I actually thought a finish to it was going to be Samoa Joe going for his muscle buster, but doing it off the second rope and jumping with the guy. And I was like, that would have been intense and that would have been shocking. So,
I'm trying to get.
like,
No,
overall.
sorry about that. No. Yeah, no,
So,
I'm sorry.
what?
My internet just found it was going to go out right now. So we're going to finish this up right now. Like I said, Mitch, I'm sorry to cut you away, but yeah, that's your opinion, and that's good. That's a good opinion, and I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
what I'm going to say is, if you're going to go check out Preston and everything, and the internet's going out, I'm going to say subscribe to Godzilla Hawk. Subscribe to him. You can check my video out on the Global Smith Entertainment. Godzilla Hawk will be in the Global Grand Prix prize tournament. Godzilla Hawk, Seth Rollins will be the guy, and he will be facing off against Daniel Bryan, against who is his opponent? Wrestling Fortune 90, Wrestling Fortune 44. So we have Godzilla Hawk against Wrestling Fortune 44, Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins. Stay tuned for that on Global Smith Entertainment. Preston, take it away, man.
All right. Again, thank you so much, Mitch, for coming on. And like I said, Mitch, you're in part of the Royal Rumble contest this year. You are officially in. Subscribe to Mitch at Global Smith Entertainment. I'll hopefully have a link in the description down below so you guys can see it. Check out his channel, Royal Rumble. Like I said, now if I had to rate this show, I give it 8 out of 10. Another great show. I'm happy I've seen this. I cannot wait for the next show. And just add one more thing, Mitch. If your opinion is true and you believe that Bayley's match was not match of the night, wouldn't that make it 3 matches in a row on NXT that matches of the night had Bayley in it? Do you know how weird that is? Where Bayley started off and now she's having like 3 matches in a row on 3 specials?
She plays the underdog really well, and everyone, and I don't care who you are, loves the underdog. It's just how it is. You want to see the underdog prevail over everyone, and she does a great job at being the underdog.
Exactly. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, subscribe to Mitch's channel. Subscribe to my channel. See you guys next time. Hopefully, I would say in the Royal Rumble contest where I start drafting the picks. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Good job, NXT and Triple H. Keep up the good work. And all I have to say is take care of all my peeps. And remember, pugs and hugs. No drugs. You got anything last words, Mitch?
Peace out, guys.
Peace out, guys.